everyone, and I'm catching you up after lunch and after already a lot of interesting discussions this morning that are taking a bit of my presentation today. But yeah, so we are talking about another issue. So yeah, today we are mainly talking about fires due to lithium batteries in WE facilities, and with the different questions that we had, we touched upon the battery fires in the entire waste management system, and that's what I will talk about today, to have a broader view on the impacts of the battery fires in the whole sector, and how can we maybe try to address that. So yeah, first, so FEAD is the European Waste Management Association. We represent the entire waste sector, from the collection, sorting, recycling, all type of treatment to the final treatment, so waste to energy and landfill. We represent the private sector in the waste management, and we are present in across 20 European countries. And we represent around 60% of the share of the household waste market, and 75 for the industrial waste market. Yeah, so our objective is to advocate for best practices in the waste management sector, and also to represent the interests of the private sector towards the European institutions. And now, delving a bit more into the topic, what I wanted to show you is basically battery fires are happening everywhere. They are happening in the whole waste management sector again, and at every steps, so from sometimes only in trash bins, but also at the collection, in the collection trucks, in the sorting plants. We have also a lot of fires happening. And then of course in the recycling plants, and not only in WE facilities, but all recycling plants. And it even happens in landfill, that we have sometimes fires happening from batteries in landfills. So really the entire waste management chain is impacted by these battery fires, and most of the time in facilities that are not really prepared to deal with battery waste. Because again, it's other type of waste streams that are affected out of the WE streams. And as we discussed also since this morning, this is an increasing issue that is impacting these waste facilities. It's all across Europe, not few countries, but really all countries are affected, and it's really hard to have data. It was touched upon this morning, I think, by ecosystem, but not all fires are reported. And when they are, it's usually the biggest fires, and so it's really hard to really follow the issue for question of images also for the sector, what is the reputation of the sector, to have this fire happening, and so yeah, the few data that we managed to find, there are very interesting one in UK. Showing that there are 70% increase of fire between 2022 and 2023, with 1,200 fires happening in the entire waste management sector. So from the collection to the end stage, and then it's more statistics, but that are based on experience. So every week they're experiencing fire. For example, this was in Netherlands. Municipal waste organization that was saying that. There's in France, and this is the data that you can see on the screen, based on the ARIA database, where they are registering few fires, not all of the fires happening in in the French installations. You Then like what are the other consequences? No, I think it was there. Like now it should be okay. So yeah, like one of the worst one, let's say, of course, is like the immediate danger for the workers. The workers in the collection trucks, the workers like in the facilities, but also the residents of the areas that are affected, and the firefighters. I mean, that are, let's say, a bit more used to this danger, but but still it's something that could be avoided. And then you have like all the financial damages to the sector. I mean, financial impacts, let's say, in the sector. The first one is of course, in investing for fire prevention. It can cost up to 100,000 euros per year, sometimes in certain facilities, to invest in thermal cameras, smoke detectors, or water cannons to try to prevent as much as possible the small fires to get bigger. And it was mentioned also this morning, of course, like the insurance issue. This is becoming very complicated for some plants to get an insurance. The recycling industry is narrated with a damage rate of ×2 compared to other traditional economic activities. We saw, I think, in the video this morning after a fire, it was ×14 for the premium. So that's really a complicated problem is this insurance thing, and even some plants after major damage cannot find a way to get insured at all. So the consequences are there, and it's not really expected to stop. Slide, yeah. It's not expected to stop because the number of batteries put on the market keeps, of course, increasing with the high share of lithium batteries in it. It is expected to be about 30% of the batteries put on the market that are now lithium batteries. And so yeah, we can see on the scheme the increase in the batteries put on the market with the collection rates that is following, of course, this increase, but that is not sufficient. We are today at 46. I mean, it was in 2022. We're at the 46% collection rate, which means we have 54% of the batteries that are missing. We of course guess where some of them are finishing, because they are causing these fires in other waste streams. And I would like to recall also, and that's what Benny was explaining this morning, that batteries, it's not a question of tons, it's a question of amounts. One battery can start a fire. So of course 46% is a good collection rate, but it's for sure not enough to minimize the risk as much as possible. Yeah. I mean, the problem statement, you see it there, but it's, I mean, I talked about it already quite a lot in my presentation, but there is an improper disposal of the batteries. The consumers, they are not aware how to get rid of their batteries. Sometimes they don't even know if there is a battery in the appliance. There is also, as I said before, an increased share of lithium battery on the markets. So there is more and more risk of misplacements of these batteries in other waste streams. There are some batteries that are not accessible, or that are hidden, or that cannot be removed. That increase also the issue of misplacement. And finally, these targets that are here but are not sufficient, because it's not a problem of tons, but really a problem of units. There are a few things that are happening already at European level that will help to deal with some of these problems. The first one, regarding the improper disposal, there is, since January 2025, the mandatory separate collection of household hazardous waste. This is something that maybe may help, because most of the time portable batteries are considered as like a household hazardous waste, and this implementation of the separate collection can maybe raise the momentum in terms of awareness on how to dispose of these batteries. Regarding the hidden or not accessible batteries, we discussed it this morning, but there is a guidance on the removability of the batteries that has been released last year. But still, it's not because the battery is removable that the consumer will remove it and dispose of it safely. So that's why, after all these problems that I've stated, that's why maybe we have some solutions that could be implemented and that are already being implemented in the member states, and on which we are working also towards the European institutions. Again, there is not one solution that fits all. There is no silver bullets. It's like a patchwork of all these solutions that will help get rid of the issue of battery fires in the waste management sector. But the first one, of course, is awareness. We all mentioned it this morning, and I mentioned it again. The consumers must be aware on how to safely dispose of their batteries. There are some awareness campaigns that are conducted. So this one was by the OECD. But yeah, this is the role of the producers and retailers, but also of maybe the public waste management, but at least the operators that are in contact with the consumers to share this message on how to safely dispose of the batteries. Regarding the collection, there is the question of make the collection of the batteries easy. The disposal, so we have the battery, easy to make as a consumer. If there is collection points next to my place, it will make the things much easier to me to dispose safely of the batteries, and also of course make the consumer aware of where are the collection points. So this screenshot is I think it's in Ireland, from the PRO in charge of the WE, and that shows where all the collection points, and try to have a good network of collection points in the big cities. So here it's in Dublin. And the last point, we talked about it this morning also, the disposable e-cigarettes. There was a proposal on a deposit system. I think we should go further, and a restriction of certain items with batteries would be much more welcome to limit the risk in the waste management sector. We are trying to work with the Commission on the ban of e-vapes. Disposable e-vapes. We are also thinking, there are other items maybe where the batteries are not mandatory. Veronica was mentioning this morning, the gift cards. You have also the textiles with lights in it, or that are causing a lot of issues. So this could be an important tool also to get rid of some of these items where the batteries are embedded and that are ending up in the residual waste. Just for info, in Belgium and France, I think there is already a ban that is done or foreseen on the e-cigarettes. And then we come to our proposals that would, of course, supplement the other things, and that would not get rid of the responsibility also of the fire prevention in the waste management facilities, but that will help, we think, in removing the batteries of waste streams where they shouldn't be. And of course, among our proposal, there is a deposit and return system. I don't know if you can see the scheme quite clearly, but it's basically when the consumer is buying a battery or an item that is containing a battery, is paying a deposit that is going to a deposit fund, and when he's safely disposing the battery in a collection points, is getting back his deposits. We know that the deposit and return system is complicated to implement. There is the question of the lifespan of the batteries. If I pay for the deposit today, in the end, the return will be only in a few years. So it's not immediate. So there is really a question on how to implement it efficiently. And I think I will be happy to hear about your point of view on this afterwards. And also how to put the right incentive on the battery to make sure that the consumer is wants to get back his incentive. So there are these questions to fix on this. There was like a very interesting experiments that was made in Austria at a very small level. It was like with 12 retailers, like supermarkets, that were serving as collection points, and they just wanted to see like how like deposit and return system could work. It was not really deposit and return system. It was just if you bring back the battery, you get a voucher from the supermarket, and this would like incentivize like the consumers like to bring back batteries. So they did 3 phases. They measured first like how many batteries are already being returned in the supermarket. So that's on the left part. Then they started like doing some like awareness without putting in place the deposit and return system. So that's the second to the last bar, where we can see there is already like more batteries that are getting back to them just with awareness. And the last green bar is like when they implemented the like voucher return system, and we can see that it's quite efficient in getting back some more batteries. So it's just like to feed in the idea of the deposit and return system to see how it could be implemented, and to see that it's in the end like working quite well in incentivizing the consumers. And our last proposal, oops, I didn't want in the right direction. Yeah, our last proposal, and like Paolo asked a question about it this morning, and like we already quite have like an interesting discussion. But it's about like implementing a fire fund. So that would be based on the EPR schemes, following a bit like quite the same tracks. So basically, when the consumer is buying like a battery or a battery embedded in a small appliance, or any electrical appliance, it would pay a fee that would go to a fire fund, and like this fund would be used to pay the waste management sector. At least to cover for some of the things related to fire, to battery fires. So like either like of course on battery fire prevention, but also the part on like for the facilities that are affected by fire prevention. So pay for the rebuild, like also like the disposal, cleaning, reconstruction costs, any costs like arising, let's say due to a fire from batteries, and also like also pay for some of the insurance costs, like help like to bear like the price difference due to the fire risk in the waste management sector. So yeah, we have like these proposals that we are working on, and I will be very happy like to exchange with you on that, to see like what are also like your remarks on this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rafael. Is there a question for Rafael before we go to the next speaker?